As you were saying, you want to fancy meeting up for a drink, so just after you reaction. Kirsty's broken out.
Should kill me if I can't forget them. You wouldn't.
Oh, go there. Single
Now potato, but not inside, outside. I prefer outside. It's tall.
Да ты закрываешься. Все, Вадя, отойди, меня 9. Я фото покажу еще раз.
With modern day life-saving apparatus, there's life jackets, life rings and life rafts, and all clearly seen around the vessel in the normal international green and cream sticker. Now there is nothing to worry about, you're in very safe hands. Sit back, relax and enjoy the cruise. Now I've got to apologise, I do only speak one language, so for the people who may not have English as their first language, I will endeavour to try and speak nice and slowly and clearly. Lots of pointing and see how we get on. Well, we're just left behind us the House of Parliament, the Palace of Westminster. It does incorporate the largest four-phase chiming clock in the world, known throughout the world as Big Ben. So we all call it Big Ben, including us Londoners. The correct name for the Great Clock of Westminster. Big Ben is simply the name of the 13.5-ton bell, which chimes the hour and the hour only. Keeping to the left, you've got the white column with the golden eagle. That is to commemorate all the brave men, and of course women, of the RAF and the Royal Flying Corps. Those were the people who gave their lives in the 2 World Wars. The golden eagle is made up of captured enemy ammunition shells. The beacon eagle facing the beach of France, where so many of their brave people gave their lives. Behind the eagle, the white building which flies the flags, and that is the Ministry of Defence. If we go behind the Ministry, there's a road there, it's called Downing Street. Number 10 Downing Street, home to this country's Prime Minister. And we keep going to the north, keep walking about 7 or 8 minutes, and we got Buckingham Palace. To the right, a few people did board at the London Eye. This is Europe's largest observation wheel. It stands at 135 individual glass capsules or pots. Now that's not a random number. That is meant to represent the 32 London boroughs which made up the Greater London Council. And that was all abolished in the early 80s by the Prime Minister's country, Margaret Thatcher. It sits on the area to our right, known as the South Bank. You can see it's on a weekend, it's very busy. They've got a market this weekend, arts and craft, antiques, the Winter Wonderland market. And there you can see that the carousel going around, the traditional English fun fair for this year. The first bridge we passed, not because we're particularly nice people, it's just whilst their hands are busy waving, they can't throw anything. It goes through. There we go, they come there. The bridge to the right is the Royal Festival Hall, the only building left over the Festival of Great Britain of 1951, home of the London Symphony Orchestra. Alongside it, the Queen Elizabeth Halls and the Purcell Rooms. Again, these are 2 small theatres. On the roof is a building which is made of wood. I think it looks like the front of a ship's bridge. Now, this is a single-roomed hotel. The name of it is a Room for London. Now, it's a very cheap way of spending time here in London. It's £300, so it sounds a lot, but not compared with a lot of the hotels. The only problem with doing this, you're only allowed to stay there for 1 night. Get in there quickly. I looked on the internet on Monday, and I booked up until the end of March. Above it you can see there's 2 tiers there, the one with like the roof on it, that's a library, and there's some high-powered telescopes look all around London. So I said it's fairly cheap because in contrast to the left, you've got the white building with a green tiled roof, and that is the riverside entrance to the world famous Savoy. The most expensive room in the Savoy is the one underneath the flagpole, and that is the bridal suite, the royal suite. It's £2,200, £2,200 per night. The rooms do vary, they start at about £400. The Waterloo Road Bridge, known here in London as the Ladies' Bridge, built 90% by female labour, owing to the fact the young men were away fighting in the Second World War. Once we get through the bridge, to the left, the white building with the green copper dome. And this is Somerset House, built for the Dukes and Earls of Somerset in the 18th century. Later sold on to this country's Registrar General, which is the Secretary of all births, marriages and deaths in England and Wales. In the winter months, they freeze their car park, they freeze the outdoor car park and ice skating rink. You may be, it's a world famous one, the Somerset House. To the right-hand side, the building with the electronic billboard going across the top. Now that building is this country's National Theatre, incorporating 3 of the country's finest auditoriums. The Cottleston, the Littleton, and the largest is the 3,000-seater Olivier, named after Sir Laurence Olivier, the founder of that theatre. Alongside it, the black and white office block. Now it doesn't look much, but this is home for Channel 3. ITV, you can see the flags flying there, the black flags. If you're like myself and live in London, you will know that where we are now is the backdrop for the regional news. You get some daytime television programmes in there. The educational programme, Jeremy Kyle, Loose Women, This Morning, all the old rubbish you have to buy over on Channel 3. It's broadcast from that, and they do regularly zoom in on the boats. So if anybody knows you're on a boat ride today, perhaps give them a little wave, look like you're enjoying yourselves. You may just be on top. If you're not where you're supposed to be, take a look to the left. And while we're looking to the left, look at the stern, that's the blunt end of any ship. That's the Wellington, a New Zealand gunboat in the First World War. Look at the roadway where the cars and buses are going. Can you see the 2 silver dragons? Now those silver dragons are placed on all major approach roads into the City of London. We're now leaving the City of Westminster, the city of royalty and politics, where you'd have found all your grand cathedral palaces. We travel to the east and we travel into the 1 square mile City of London. Now London, the capital of England, a very old city. The Romans settled here back in 43 AD. They called the area Londinium. Translated from the Latin, it means port by the water. We look ahead of the boat, we look over to the left-hand corner, and you can see the dome and the golden cross of Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral. Now it stands there so high because it stands on top of Ludgate Hill. It took the architect, Sir Christopher Wren, 35 years to complete, finally in 1710. Now you can visit St Paul's. On top of the dome you can see the viewing platform. That's what they call the Whispering Galleries. Also go down into the crypt. There you'll see the tombs of Admiral Lord Nelson, the Duke of Wellington, and the architect himself, Sir Christopher Wren. Now we've got a white building here to our left with a green tiled roof, and that is the old City of London School for Boys. Been left money since 1441 to educate the boys of London town. Look very closely on the front of the building, and in between the arch windows, 4 statues. From left to right, John Milton, Francis Bacon, Isaac Newton, and William Shakespeare. And they are arguably some of this country's finest scholars. Like a lot of these old buildings here in London, they're very hard to keep up. They've been sold off now to a very wealthy American bank, J.P. Morgan. Now these are the Blackfriars groups of bridges, the closest you're going to see 3 bridges here in London. So this is effectively London's very own tunnel of love. They do say if you're with your loved one, give him a little kiss as you go underneath the bridge. It's said to bring you many years of happiness. Of course, if you're not with your loved one, you can always give your husband or your wife a little kiss. Any single ladies, I'm more than happy for a little kiss. If there's any single men, he's very open-minded. You can see this last bridge here. This is the railway bridge. Have a look back and you can see it's undergoing a lot of work. They're strengthening and widening the old bridge. And they're going to put an additional platform on them red supports we just see as we came beneath the 2 bridges. And that's going to be the first railway station to pass over the River Thames. That'll be ready in summer of 2014. For the people who may have missed St Paul's, another view here to the left. To give you some idea how big St Paul's is, the dome that sits on the roof there, it weighs 32,000 tonnes and is the second largest unsupported cathedral dome anywhere in the world. The first being at St Peter's in the Vatican City of Rome. Now we go from the old art to the left to the newer art to the right. And this was the old Bankside power station. Taken out of commission in the 1970s, it was then turned into the Tate Gallery of modern art. Now modern art is becoming very, very popular in this country. Does anybody on this boat like modern art? As you can see, it is very popular. But if you do like modern art, it's free to enter as a member. In there you can see exhibitions such as a burnt out car, a child's unmade bed, and a half-eaten chicken curry. We just go beneath the Millennium Footbridge, Norman Foster's Blade of Light. Opened by the Queen of England on the 20th of June 2000. Closed very rapidly by the police. And this was due to its vigorous swaying. People were so excited about being the first across the bridge, they charged it. It made it swing and sway. Taken out of commission, rectified at the cost of £6 million, and today you can see it's now perfectly safe to walk across. We come back to the right, we've got the white building with a thatched roof, and that is William Shakespeare's Globe Playhouse Theatre. The only building in London to be made of wooden thatch since the Great Fire of 1666. In the summer months, May to September, go inside the Globe, watch one of Shakespeare's great plays. And all the plays are being reenacted exactly how they used to be in the Elizabethan times. The bridge ahead of us is Southwark, built in 1921 to ease the congestion of the old London Bridge. Now it is said to be London's least used bridge, and that is due to the approach roads hidden in a maze of one-way streets and no entrance. So they do say if you find yourself up on top of the bridge, then you are more than likely